Okay, I'm going to record this flight on Kazam so that I can get a little better rendering. If I do a voiceover after the fact, I lose a lot of the rendering quality. So what you're going to see is there's 3 separate clips here, but they're all one video, and where the clips are separate and then rejoined as I'm recording them, you might see some lettering indicating that, in which case I'll show you what it is, or you may see a flicker of a 0.3 of a second dark screen between them. Anyway, this is the Ercoupe, and no rudder pedals on the floor, of course. It has been modified to 100 horse Continental. It was said that they wouldn't do aerobatics. Wrong. Any aircraft will do aerobatics, at least to some extent, with proper use of angle of attack, proper entry and exit. That having been said, let's go ahead and take this thing up, and I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about. This thing has one pedal on the floor. It's a brake pedal. The throttle is on the dashboard, and it has standard yokes like any other aircraft, and it gets its steering from mixing rudder with ailerons. It's all in the linkage of the aircraft itself. So some things that you could normally do easily, say in a Piper Cub or a Cessna, which would be like a rudder stall turn, take a little more finesse in this, but they can be done. Anyway, let's have a go with this, and you can see what I'm talking about. We'll go ahead and start the playback here, and I'll give it full screen. Okay. Here we're going to run it up and lift the aircraft off. I've got the cockpit open. You can close it entirely, and there is cabin heat, and it's fully weatherproof. It's not a fair weather flyer. You could take a long day trip, or take a longer day trip, stay overnight, and come back. You can carry one other person and your luggage. You can carry about 150 pounds beside you and the other guy or gal. Now what I'm doing now is called a chandal. It's an aerobatic maneuver developed during the First World War to quickly gain altitude and change direction. We're going to be gaining a little over 1,500 feet by the time I straighten it out here. Okay, after having left the runway, we've gained now about, 1,200 feet. And there's the end of the runway we just left down there. I'm having to do a voiceover because I want to keep my frame rates high in order to do proper aerobatics with it. Now what we're going to do here is I'm going to build my airspeed. Don't worry about the red line on the RPM. It no longer affects it the same since I put in the 100 horsepower. Now we've just done over the top. We're going to turn that into a half Cuban. There we go. And we're headed right back in the same direction again. And here's a roll, as you can see. Nice roll. You don't have the time for hesitation in the bank, because of course you can't employ up rudder when you do that. That last maneuver we just did to come back was a half Cuban reverse. Here's a stall turn. Bit of a stall. I'll go around here. The plane is no slouch. It handles well. Very, very well indeed. There's an inverted, sustained, and we'll roll out of that here. Excellent handling plane. There was one of our splits there that I was telling you about. You saw that stepped around. Okay, and there's finishes there. Now here we're doing an elevator turn after hard bank to the left. Turning on the elevator. There we go. This plane was probably one of the most stable platforms the military ever saw. That's why they used it to develop the JATO assists that they would later use on the Neptune P2Vs, etc. Now here is a simulated rudder stall turn, since we can't use just exclusively rudders. So we're aiding it with the ailerons slightly. And there's our rudder stall. And into another roll. Kind of sloppy at the end, but that's not the plane, that's me. I did this kind of in a hurry just to get it done and show people that yes, you can fly aerobatics with it. Any standard pattern you can fly with any other plane to meet FAA approval, you can do with this plane. And a little more. You know, I mean, it'll actually do pretty well. Now here's what we're going to do. Is I'm going to do a quick wing over turn, descending and out, like so. As I'm going down the other side, then I'll roll it over in a descending roll. It's really a pretty agile plane. People don't give it enough credit. They were really, really good planes. Never has anyone had one who didn't just absolutely love the plane. They were really a popular little plane. There you get an idea of it from outside. Here we'll do a high wing over. Come back down, and we'll do a roll, and roll it out of it on the descending side. Good plane, nice plane. Get up here and land, finish our recording. There, we just switched frames again there. But they're easy to fly. Anybody can fly one of these planes. They were the world's safest aircraft. They would not spin on their own off a stall. All they do is mush. They just start dropping altitude with the nose up. Extremely good aircraft. Extremely good. Called the Ercoupe E415 I. Land easily, take off easily, ground handling is perfect on them. Great plane. Great little plane. Now if you notice here, let's go up on top here. There's your control, your coordinated control. Okay, there's your yokes. Throttle is in the middle of the dash. You see that? Okay. Anyway,